And we start here in Berlin, where thousands of tractors and trucks have converged on the German capital as angry farmers protest against cuts in agricultural subsidies and increasing regulation. Organizers expect up to 10,000 people to participate in Monday's rally, which concludes a week of protests across Germany, including the blockade of motorway on-ramps. The demonstrations have tapped into a groundswell of dissatisfaction in German society. And joining me now from those protests is DW political correspondent Matthew Moore. Matthew, what have farmers been telling you about why they are angry with the government?
Gerhard, it's difficult to hear you right now because of the sound behind me. As you can see, the speeches have begun. And this morning, as thousands of farmers trickled down towards the Brandenburg Gate, I had a chance to speak to some of them, and they say that the diesel subsidy cuts are really the straw that broke the camel's back. It's about much more than that. It's about a complete disregard that they say the government has for people who work on the fields, who look after the livestock, who grow the grains that Germans eat. And they say that essentially policies to deal with environmental protections, a really high minimum wage in comparison to other European countries, that these things combined with these cuts, combined with taxes on heavy goods vehicles, etc., make it really difficult to be a farmer in Germany in 2024. And they say that ultimately the government has to wake up.
Now, you said the government needs to wake up. Some of the measures have already been rolled back. So why is it not enough for the farmers there where you are?
Yeah, well, the government did. That's right. This began a month ago, and then the government heard the concerns of the farmers' associations and said, "Look, we will abandon some of those changes, but the cuts to diesel subsidies, we're gonna continue with that, but we're gonna do it gradually. We're gonna start the year after in 2025." Farmers here say, "Hold on a minute. It's bad enough that you would even consider doing it. Never mind doing it now when." We have these wide-ranging problems, rising costs of living in Germany, inflation is high, we're in a recession, and as I say, this is years and years this has been building up, and you speak to people and they're fed up, and it taps into this wider disenchantment with the coalition government in Berlin, which is the first three-party government that Germany has had since the 1950s, and ultimately it's accused of infighting, bickering, while people are struggling to get by.
Matthew, do these protests really mean a threat for the stability of Germany's coalition government?
Well, we'll see. Behind me today, the Finance Minister, Christian Lindner, is going to address the crowd, and I'll be getting very interested to see the kind of reception he gets, because in the past, when the Green Party's Minister for Agriculture spoke, he was called a traitor, he was booed, people shouted for the government to get lost, they want new elections, so he got it was a hostile crowd, and these are working people, and they're very passionate, and you can sense that when you speak to them. So I think that if this continues to grow and the government doesn't find a solution and reach a compromise, the farmers say they're ready for one, but we'll see, then there is the potential that more and more people join this protest. Today already I spoke to a couple of women who came, they live in Berlin, and they say the farmers are basically speaking on our behalf. So they've got the concerns, we share their concerns. When the farmers are doing badly, then it's only going to mean that we're going to have higher costs in supermarkets here. So the government does really need to get a handle on this, Gerhard.
DW political correspondent Matthew Moore reporting from the farmers' protest there in Berlin. Thank you very much, Matthew. So how serious is the German government's proposed cut to agricultural subsidies? DW's Karl Harenbrock visited a dairy farm not far from Berlin in the state of Brandenburg to find out.
Every machine on Peter Keim's farm in the Havelland district near Berlin is powered by a diesel engine. He manages a business with 1,000 hectares of farmland and 170 dairy cows. When he refuels his 5 tractors, it gets expensive. This tractor has a 480-litre tank. So far, he has received around 21 cents per litre as a refund from the government. We use 120,000 liters of diesel per year, so to us this diesel refund was worth around 25,000 euros. But this subsidy was supposed to be gradually reduced and discontinued by 2026. But Keim and other farmers don't want to accept that and are protesting nationwide, like here in the Havelland region. And they've had some success. The government is signaling to meet some of their demands, although for many it's not quite enough yet.
I see in our family how tough it is to keep our business running. And if you don't have additional income, it becomes increasingly difficult. If we lose the subsidy now, I really don't know how we'll make ends meet. The younger generation is afraid. Many are asking, will we even get a job later on if the law is implemented as planned? That's why I'm here to protest.
Agriculture subsidies are commonplace. German farmers receive around 300 euros from the EU budget per year and hectare. The diesel subsidy is just a small part of it, and yet every penny counts, say farmers. They fear they won't be able to compete internationally. Currently, only 3 EU countries have higher taxes on agricultural diesel than Germany, but 18 countries have lower taxes. German farmers feel disadvantaged. We produce our products such as bread wheat, barley, winter rapeseed at world market levels. There is a world market price. And if we have a production disadvantage due to the lack of diesel reimbursement, we cannot compete anymore. No future without us. That's what the farmers say. There are around 250,000 farms in Germany. Most of them have participated in the protests over the past few days.